It's already been a week since the new Super Series cards have been launched, and people have been asking in my recent videos, Vimal bro, where is your benchmarks and review on this card? Arey bhai, let me at least use it for a couple of days now, then only I'll be able to share you my detailed review on this thing. So it's been, as I've told you, like 6-7 days I've had this card, and I have done like variety of testing, guys. And today in this video, I will be giving my in-depth review on this product. We'll also do a bit of comparisons as well with already existing 4070, 4070 Ti, and also its competitor AMD Radeon 7800 XT as well. Plenty of details you'll find in this video, so make sure to watch it till the end. On that note, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the notifications bell icon on. So guys, today in the house we have the Inno3D's Twin X2 variant of the 4070 Super, and I have already made an unboxing and overview video on this thing, telling what is new on the Super Series card compared to the regular lineup. So I won't be wasting any of your time with all the specs, configuration, or what's new details. You'll have to watch my first video for all of those details. Now we'll directly get into the benchmarks and check out the review. Wait a second, I forgot to talk about the test bench setup, right? Today we'll be using Intel's 12th Gen i9-12900K CPU paired with RTX 4070 Super. Couple that with 16GB DDR4 RAM clocked at 3600 MHz from Team T4s, and also for this sort of configuration, a 750 watt power supply would be more than enough, guys. And if you're actually using like an i5, maybe like 12th Gen or 13th Gen, a 650 watt power supply would also get your job done. Now without wasting any more time, let's directly jump into the benchmarks and check out how this baby performs. And this time, boys, I've actually added some new games to the collection based on your recommendations, and the first game we'll be playing is Last of Us Part 1. So as I've told you at the beginning, 4070 Super was mainly targeted for like ultimate 1440p gaming. You can play a lot of AAA title games at maximum ultra graphics at this sort of resolution. So I'll be testing all these AAA title games at minimum 1440p resolution only, and maybe above also like 4K, but we will not be touching 1080p at all in this video. I mean, come on, when you're spending almost like 60-70,000 rupees on a graphic card, I'm pretty sure you want to play it at higher resolutions only, na? So that is the reason. Anyways, right now we are playing this game at 1440p maximum ultra graphics possible in the game, and as you can see, on an average we were getting around like 75-80 FPS. Hey, actually quite impressive, right? Buttery smooth gameplay so far, and in certain action scenes or maybe like graphic intensive scenes, FPS was slightly dropping to around like 60-65 FPS, but still at 1440p max ultra you're definitely getting like a consistent 60 plus FPS over here. Moving on, let's also play Control. Control is also like one of my classic favorites. This game also has ray tracing support, so we'll definitely put that to a test as well. In this first clip, we will be playing the game at 1440p resolution with ray tracing turned off, and as you can see, on an average we were getting around like 125-130 FPS over here. And in action scenes or graphic intensive scenes, FPS was slightly dropping to around 105-110 FPS. So on an average, triple digit FPS to you'll get aram se over here, and muska performance, guys, no sort of lags or stutters on the 4070 Super. Now let's quickly enable ray tracing at the same 1440p max ultra graphics and see how it handles it. Okay, as expected, ray tracing definitely puts quite a bit of load, and on an average now we were getting around like 65-70 FPS, but still pretty good, I would say, guys. Even with ray tracing at 1440p max settings, it is quite playable with a consistent 65-70 FPS. Let's also quickly enable 4K resolution. I know this card was not made for 4K, but hey, that doesn't stop us from playing the game, right? So right now we are testing the game at 4K resolution. Obviously ray tracing is turned off, and as you can see, on an average we were getting around like 70 FPS, and in intense action scenes we were getting around like 50-55 FPS. Still quite playable, guys. You can easily play even at 4K also. Let's also play our all-time favorite Spider-Man Remastered. So again, as I've told you, this also will be playing at 1440p and 4K resolutions only, with and without ray tracing. In this first clip, we are playing the game at 1440p maximum ultra graphics with ray tracing off, and my god, look at those FPS, look at the digits over there. 135-140 FPS on an average. Sometimes it was even peaking at around like 160 FPS, guys. Crazy good performance over here. And quickly enabling ray tracing at the same 1440p max settings, we were getting around like 90-100 FPS. So even with the ray tracing, we were getting like really consistent digits, and even sometimes hitting like triple digit FPS also. quickly switching the resolution to 4K, keeping the graphics same at maximum ultra, and obviously turning ray tracing off, we were getting around like 95 to 100 FPS. So these were the kind of benchmarks we were getting over here, guys. And keeping that aside, now let's do some comparisons. So I'm pretty sure you people want to know how fast is the 4070 Super compared to the already existing 4070, right? So just like this, I've tested almost like 6 to 7 different AAA title games, and on an average 4070 Super was roughly around like 15 to 16% faster than the already existing 4070. Now if you compare it to the competition Radeon 7800 XT, which is a bit more affordable compared to the Super Series card, 4070 Super was around like 10% faster, sometimes almost like 11-12% also faster on an average across majority of the AAA title games. That too, this testing was done at 1080p and 1440p resolution. Again, as I've told you, if you increase the resolution to 4K, 7800 was definitely reducing the gap, making 4070 Super only around like 5 to 6% faster than the 7800 XT. And the major reason for this, I believe, is the limited VRAM, guys. As I've told you, 4070 Super, just like the already existing 4070, features only 12 gigs of GDDR6X memory with 192-bit memory bus width, whereas on the 7800 XT you're getting almost 16 GB of GDDR6 memory, that too with 256-bit memory bus width. So that was making a difference at higher resolution. I'm not sure why Nvidia decided to limit the VRAM to only 12 GB even on the Super series. If only they would have increased the VRAM to 16 GB, I'm pretty sure all the consumers, everybody out there would be like very happy with this card. So that was the kind of performance and benchmark results we were getting when we compared it with the 7800 XT. In terms of rasterization performance, there was like very minimum difference, especially when you're going to higher resolutions, but major difference comes when you enable ray tracing, guys. Nvidia still remains like undisputed king once you enable ray tracing. There was huge amount of difference in the performance. 4070 Super was almost like 42% faster than the 7800 XT, playing the same games with RT enabled. So where exactly does this 4070 Super stand in today's market? Based on our gameplay benchmarks and testings, 4070 Super is definitely faster than the 4070 and even beats the 7800 XT, but slightly falls behind the 4070 Ti. The difference between the Super and Ti edition card is not that big also, it's hardly around like 5 to 6%. My only complaint with this GPU is Nvidia should have really given us like 16 GB of VRAM, guys, considering it's 2024 and the price is almost like 65,000 rupees, because games these days are getting very demanding, and whenever I'm playing modern AAA titles like Last of Us or maybe like Hogwarts Legacy, right, most of the time GPU utilization was around like 98-99%, consuming over 10 GB of VRAM, especially at higher resolutions. And wait a second, we forgot to talk about the power consumption part. RTX 4070 Super was surprisingly quite efficient GPU, guys. So kudos Nvidia, you people have definitely done a good job. If you guys remember, RTX 3090, the previous gen card, used to easily consume almost up to like 300 or sometimes up to like 350 watts also, depending on the situation. So compared to that, RTX 4070 Super only draws around like 200 or max 220 watts. You can see the PC stats at the top left corner of the display, guys. At the same time, being more faster and efficient than a 3090. Plus you're also getting added support for DLSS 3.5 and AI frame generation as well, which is not there on the previous gen 30 series card, so making it much better, faster and also efficient than the 3090, at the same time being much more affordable as well. See, if you're a guy who's building your PC for the first time, or maybe you're buying a 40 series card for the first time, right, and you're targeting like 1440p resolution, this 4070 Super can be a great choice of card for you. You can do some excellent 1440p gaming or even 1080p ray tracing gaming with triple digit numbers. And it is definitely a good upgrade if you're coming from a 30 series card, maybe like a 3060 or 3070. But if you're already having like a 4060 Ti or 4070, it may not be that big of an upgrade for you, because as I've told you, hardly there's around like 15% difference between the Super and the regular edition of the 4070. And now talking about the pricing, as I've told you, 4070 Super is right now available in the Indian market around 63 to 65,000 rupees. And after the price cut, 4070 the regular edition is only available for around like 51 to 52,000 rupees. That is also like a really good deal around that price point. What do you people think? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all in my next one.